Well, I think you have. What do you call them? The
Blowtorch.
Blowtorch, yes. And Linda.
Well, I got blamed for this in a rather unfortunate way. I mean, what actually happened was I remember I was with Mother, and Oriel was there too, and I walked in the door. Now, my job at Brompton Square was always stripping the paint off. It was quite ironic actually, because I was brought up to rather a racist white, you know, and after Brompton Square I lived first of all in India and then in Africa, so that cured my racism good and proper. But it was strange because my job at Brompton Square was always stripping the white paint off the doors and then having stripped them to paint them with dark brown varnish. But anyway, so I was pretty good at paint stripping, having done it for 8 months, and I'd also done quite a lot of paint stripping before when I was younger. I used to do it as a hobby. I used to buy furniture and strip it and pet sell it. Those were my teens, and I knew that the one thing you never did was left an oxyacetylene torch on. You never left it on because it's extremely dangerous. And as I said, I get blamed as a lecture when Mother says Linda left the torch on, and of course, as Mother says, what she says becomes the truth. But in fact, what happened was, at least as far as I remember it, maybe it is the truth, but I remember walking in that room, and I remember the whole of the floor was covered in chalk dust because with John, you and I think Pat were making those cornices in that room. And
no, I didn't make them. No.
Well, anyway, somebody was making cornices. The whole floor was covered in chalk dust, and I saw that some idiots, the understatement of the century, had left this oxyacetylene torch on, pointing into the middle of the room. And I mean, it's something I literally would never have done in a million years. Plus, I wasn't even stripping in that room anyway. I was stripping in another room. And Mother was there, and I've actually put this story in the book, and also I happened to get a photograph of the sari she was wearing. She didn't, as you know, Mother doesn't usually wear synthetic saris, but that day she was wearing a synthetic sari, and which made it even more of a miracle. And Mother walked in the room and appeared not to see the torch, and the flame, the blue flame, it jumped out of the torch and it went towards her, and the blue flame went right round the sari in a flame, in a kind of ring of fire, and then went back to it. I by this time was lying on the floor because I just thought, my God, she's going to go up in smoke because it's a nylon sari. So I just jumped and I landed on my tummy because I just thought, well, I don't care if I break my wrist or whatever. I mean, you know, she's going to burn. So I just grabbed the torch to turn it the other way, and I think that's probably why Mother thought that it was me who had the torch, because I just dived onto the floor, and I remember the whole of the front of my tummy was just full of chalk dust because I just jumped onto the floor. And I remember her saying, "The fire cannot burn me, I am the fire." And Alison Ravina, I remember talking to Alison about this story, she said she remembers Mother saying, "The fire is just doing arti to me." Mm-hmm. And it was just extraordinary because that was a nylon sari, and that you remember that sort of blue flame, it went right round the sari, didn't it? It was just the most extraordinary thing. But as I said, I go down in history as being the one who left the torch lying around.
Well, Linda, interesting, because one of my first times going to the airport to see Mother before I was married, and being close to Mother, we were holding bits of Mother's luggage, and Mother suddenly turned to me and she said, "What were you doing, going there to my house and doing namaskar on the pavement?" And Mother had just recently given a talk about not saying "but Mother," so Carol thought to herself, "Don't say "but Mother." So, and also Carol was thinking, "But Mother," inside I think, "Mother, you are the God, you're divine, you know everything, you know I didn't do this." And I just said to Mother, "I don't know, Mother," because I couldn't think of anything else to say which wouldn't start "but Mother." So I just stood there and Mother said, and just turned away and talked to somebody else. And years later, I think Louis can tell the rest of the story.
Yes, years later I went to see Mother, and Mother said, "Yes, your wife is very sensible, such a decent, good lady, you should listen to her a lot more, you know." Except I can't understand why she did that, you know. Going to the namaskar there on the floor to that house where I used to live many years ago. That is so unlike her. But Mother, it wasn't her. It was someone else. What? And you didn't tell me? all these years, I've been very confused because this doesn't go with her personality. You should have told me, Well, we thought, Mother, that you, because of who you are, you know everything. Well, you have to tell me, you see. Mother said, these things you have to tell me, It is confusing for the brain, yes. But there you are. Mother has a memory. She knows as well, and our character and personality and the